Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Estonia and to Otepaa, a regular stop on the cross-country World Cup, supported by Wiesmann, and all important this weekend because it is the last World Cup competition before the Nordic Ski World Championships. Posey Musgrave alongside myself, David Goldstrom, for today's freestyle sprints. And this is the course for the men's sprints. 1.6 kilometers, Posey 300 meters longer than the women.
It is indeed, and with a bit of extra hill as well. So this is one of the toughest courses on the World Cup. It's got two big climbs out. You see that first one straight out of the stadium. They're immediately going up. Then you drop down before you kick up again. And that second hill, really, really tricky with a very steep climb right at the end.
And ski preparations, it's a freestyle skate race today. Now, that's also something special because in all the previous 20 World Cup visits to this part of the world, all the races have been classic. But today, particularly with the Nordic Ski World Championships featuring a freestyle skate sprint, that's why it's freestyle today.
It is indeed, and it'll be interesting to see how this course plays out skating instead of classic, because it does make quite a big difference. And I think the ski prep can be easier sometimes in skating because you don't have to worry about the grip wax, but still quite tricky, particularly in these conditions when it's hovering around about 0 degrees and gradually warming up.
Stina Nielsen, the fastest in qualification, 2:52.45 for the 1,300 meters. And this is the way the women have drawn themselves into the respective 5 quarterfinal competitions. First two across the line as ever go through to the semi-finals by right, and then it's a couple of lucky loser places for the rest to hunt. So the clock in Otepaa ticking towards midday. Great enthusiasm for the racing here. Here's the lineup for the men there, and you'll notice in Heat 2 there, Andrew Young did really well in qualification, but he's in a very tough heat on a very tough course. So we kick off with the women's, the first of the 5 quarterfinals. Stina Nielsen, the fastest, and also riding high, second in the overall World Cup sprint rankings for the season. And there is the Sochi Olympic sprint medalist. That's Ingvild Flugstad Ørsberg, who's in this first quarterfinal. 4 there, that's Sophie Caldwell for the United States. Bib 1 belongs to Sweden's Stina Nielsen, now the most successful Swedish racer in World Cup history. Katja Wisnar for Slovenia, and 23 Harsem for Norway, and completing the lineup will be Daria Beatty for Canada, and she qualified in 3:02.92. That's about 8 seconds slower than Stina Nielsen. She's in the red and likely to have a lot of work to do. So they line up here, 1,300 meters. Well, a ridiculously long hold there, but they are away, and Posey, it's a gentle start, but this is a brutal course.
It is a gentle start out of the stadium, but it doesn't take long until you hit those first hills. So straight away you can see they've got that left-hand bend out of the stadium, and already they're up into the first of the uphills. You can see this one's a little bit more gradual. All the girls are sticking there in the skate 2 technique, so you tend to do that when it's slightly more gentle. As it gets steeper, they'll go into skate 1. So this isn't the toughest of the hills, but important to get in a good position to start with.
Yeah, this is the first of the 2 climbs, and you saw Ørsberg lead out there ahead of Stina Nielsen. 4 right behind there, that's Sophie Caldwell of the United States. And then 16 at the back there, that's the Slovenian Katja Wisnar, as they come onto this, well, sort of little plateau section. It's a climb, a descent, and then another climb, and the second climb even nastier.
Yeah, the second climb's got a really steep pitch right at the finish, and I think that's going to be quite tricky. You can see already the snow, as I said, it's hovering around 0 degrees today, and you can see how thick the snow looks just there already. It's not hard packed, so it's going to be hard work for the girls out there, particularly as we progress through the rounds to the semi-final and the final.
Well, this is not unusual to see Ersberg leading. She loves to do this, but it may take its toll as the different rounds of competition go on, and there's an aggressive move there by her Norwegian teammate Katrin Harsem.
Yeah, that was a really good move by Harsem there. She just looked much more snappy on her skis. Ersberg trying to take the lead as she likes to do, but Harsem just looked much lighter on her feet, and I think that Caldwell and Nilsson will be a little bit annoyed to have been stuck in behind Ersberg there, because she looked like she couldn't quite manage the pace at the beginning.
Yeah, Ersberg 6th in the World Cup rankings, sprint rankings that is, and Harsem only 20th. Did have a 4th place finish, Harsem, in Valmuster. Yes. Now coming back into the stadium complex, just the first two to qualify by right there. Harsem still leading. Interesting little pedestrian blip there up the hill. And now Stina Nielsen making her presence felt. She's been a force all the way through. And you can see here, striding to the line there, is Stina Nielsen, accelerating away. Harsem chasing in 2nd place. And Ersberg only 4th at the moment as they come towards the finish, the last 20 or so meters. Stina Nielsen's going to qualify. And who gets 2nd? Ooh, that's pretty close there. Photo between Caldwell and Harsem, and Ersberg in 4th place.
Yeah, I don't think her tactics worked very well today, did they? As we said, she does often go out really hard like that. And as she's a good distance skier as well, I think she feels that she has the stamina to maintain that pace, but just didn't look very snappy going up that 2nd hill. I mean, we could still see her go through. I think this could be quite a fast heat, but just didn't have the finishing kick there that the others had.
Well, if she does go through, she can probably thank herself for the fast pace that she set, but it is only the first of 5. Stina Nielsen, as ever, looking really impressive.
Yeah, back to business, you know, didn't make it to the World Cup in Pyeongchang, decided the travel wasn't worth it, but now she's back on the World Cup and back where she's used to being, on the top of the results sheet. Yeah,
this season already victorious in Valmuster, part of the Tour de Ski, but equally on home snow in Falun. Really enjoyed that one. And there you can see, flashing there, the two who are in lucky loser positions, but 1.43 for Ersberg. That's a way back.
Yeah, she'll be waiting nervously for the next 4 heats to see if that time holds up.
Well, the next quarterfinal involves the Olympic champion, Maika Kaspersen-Faller, but here is Ida Sargent. Ida on the podium just recently, a lifetime best for Ida in Pyeongchang in the classic race. So that's obviously lifted her spirits. 9, Lorien van der Graaf. She was 2nd quickest to this woman, Maika Kaspersen-Faller, who is the specialist of sprints. Maika, Olympic champion, 3rd in the last 2 World Championships. Sandra Ringwald for Germany. Great atmosphere in Otepaa, as it always is. Outsider here for Finland. Has done well to qualify. And 28, this is Ilaria de Bertolis. Just very quickly, I thought that our British racer, Annika Taylor, now she didn't qualify, she was ranked 39th, but more relevantly, 3:04.68. The last to qualify, the time was 3:09.92. That was respectable. Yeah, within 2 seconds of qualifying, so that's a really good race from her. I think it's probably one of her best World Cup finishes. And she's a distance racer. So she should be really, really pleased with that. I hope it gives us some good confidence going into Lahti next week. So that's a great result, and hopefully bodes well for good results for the rest of the weekend on the World Champs as well for the rest of the British team. So yeah, really fantastic. She's had a great season. So the black-suited Lorien van der Graaf for Switzerland leading out. A couple of top 10 finishes this season. And then you can see Maika Kaspersen-Faller wearing the red bib for the Sprint World Cup leader. 10, well to the fore there. That's Ida Sargent for the United States. And then 20, that's Sandra Ringwald right behind there in 4th. And then 28, De Bertolis, and the Finnish woman, Lin Pera, I think this is going to be a tough quarter for her, but she's done well to get into this stage.
She has, and I think when you haven't been in a lot of World Cup heats, it's good just to have the experience and see what the pace is like and work out some tactics.
So now they drop down this left-hander and then they hit the big climb.
Yeah, so it's quite important that you keep a lot of speed as you turn around that corner. You can see, as it is quite choppy with the snow being quite wet there, it's important to try and maintain as much speed, and if you can, keep your feet high and walk around that corner so you maintain your speed as you go into the uphill, and that can give you a good bit of momentum as you start this second climb, because it is really, really tough.
Ida Sargent, far side now being taken on by Micah Casperson-Fallow with that familiar tempo and herringboning up this steep rise. That just gives you an idea of how big it is in terms of degrees and gradient there. Lauren van der Graaf of Switzerland in third place. They breast the rise and now set up for the stadium complex. You
could see as they went up the top of that hill how short the glide was. They were almost just running from ski to ski. It's really, really steep at the top. And again, with the snow being quite soft, it's important to keep the tempo going so you don't get bogged down in that snow.
Ida Sargent doing a great job. That was a classic sprint on which she was third in the podium there. Whoa! She's looking to be cheeky here and take the inside line, but her skis are running so well.
Absolutely fantastic skis there. Just easily outglided Fallow as they went down that downhill and into the stadium.
Well, we heard Keegan Randall's interview just before the start, and she was saying that, you know, they were confident, the servicemen were good, they were really looking forward to this. And it's America from Norway at the moment. Micah Casperson-Fallow, she only has to be in the first two, but now look at Lorien van der Graaf trying to close up there. Three fighting for two places by right. Lorien van der Graaf on the far side, Casperson-Fallow on the near side, coming through now, and it's Norway, Switzerland, and Ida Sargent just outsped in the last 15 to 20 metres.
Yeah, we thought she had that after that great turn into the downhill. She looked like she had a really good position coming into the stadium, but couldn't quite maintain her speed along the finishing straight. And strong finish by Casperson-Fallow and by van der Graaf as well.
Yeah, 2:53.37.
I think the first heat was about 2:51, so we're looking at 2 seconds slower than that first heat.
Yeah, 2:51.82 was the time of the first heat, and 2:53 now. Ersberg had 2:53.25, and that is quicker than Ida Sargent. So there you have, so that maybe there is some hope for Ingvild Ersberg to get a lucky loser spot. Well, Posey, the fastest of this group of six, Keegan Randall, back after the birth of her son. And Keegan, of course, a world silver medalist back in 2009 in Liberec. That's Matvieva, who is rejuvenated Matvieva. Astrid Jakobsen, a world champion back in 2007 in Sapporo, in the Sapporo Dome. But as good as ever, it seems, Jakobsen. Keegan Randall, 2:55, the fastest qualifier. And as you can see, evidently excited.
Yeah, feeling confident again, I think, after such a great qualifier to finish third. That's her best for a long time.
Krista Parmakovsky here. She, in terms of the overall World Cup rankings, Parmakovsky second only at the moment to the overall World Cup leader for women, which for 1 second escapes me, but of course it's Heidi Weng.
Yeah.
And Maria Eid in here for Norway. So Keegan Randall and Sadie Björnsson for the United States, Parmakovsky for Finland, Jakobsen for Norway, Eid for Norway.
This is another really tough heat, David. I think that every single girl in this heat has a genuine chance of qualifying. This is going to be one of the toughest rounds, so we could see a pretty furious pace here.
Yeah, Matvieva for Russia. Well, I remember her. She won one of those showcase sprints early in her career in Dusseldorf by the side of the Rhine. That was her first ever World Cup victory. She's 30 now, and this season a winner in Toblach and 4 top 10s. And she is an improved skier, particularly in classic. But this year and now, all she's got to think about is freestyle.
Yeah, certainly for her, she's a good sprinter, so she'll be really focused on the sprint, the skate sprints, I think, with the world champs sprint being in skate. She looks really strong as well. Notice she's staying in that skate 2 technique when the others are all going into skate 1, so that's a sign of some good upper body strength compared to some of the other skiers.
Yeah, really good core strength, but also coming up now, it's Astrid Jacobsen for Norway. I just remember the joy in her face in Falun when she got that silver medal in the skiathlon. That was her first major distance medal, and she proved to herself that she wasn't just a sprinter. Ski's running well.
Well deserved, a long time coming, and this would be, if we get Jacobsen here, it'll be 10 years since she won her first World Champs sprint medal, so it shows that there's some good longevity in these sport with some of these skiers. So nice to see her and Kiken and some of those other slightly older skiers still able to compete with the younger ones like Stina Nilsson and Mike and Kaspersen Fowler.
Well, Astrid Jacobsen there, Matvieva still in second place. Trying to move up on them there is Kiken Randall on the right of your screen, following Matvieva. On the left of your screen, that's Sadie Björnsson of the United States. So the two Americans, third and fourth, but Astrid has got there. And that was really good, wasn't she? She really poled and took her speed and then accelerated over the top.
Yeah, the key thing, I think, is to make sure that you keep your momentum as you go over the top of that hill. It steepens so much. It's really, really hard to keep your speed going, but if you can do that, you can then extend your lead onto that downhill. Be interesting to see if how the Americans, how Randall and Bjornsson get by on this downhill, because we saw Sargent's skis were really fast in the last heat, so we'll see if they've got some similarly good ski speed going on here.
I tell you what, this is dominant skiing by Astrid Jacobsen.
Yeah, this is a great ski by her.
That interesting little pedestrian bridge gives you some purpose to come down, but you can see the others are closing now. Matvieva moving out there. Oh, and that was Kiken Randall who almost brought herself to grief now trying to come on the inside, gets blocked for a second time.
Bit scrappy there.
Not great track craft, but they're chasing down here. 2:51.82, the time of the first quarter-final. And, well, Randall really making her own trouble there. 2:53.3. So that first quarter-final still the fastest.
Yeah, Randall tried to take the inside line there, so she didn't want to waste that time she'd have to take going around, but just didn't have the space to do it and ended up losing some time, I think, from that.
And Ersberg's time from the first quarter-final still faster. So still two quarter-finals to come. But she'd gone on the outside, Randall, and she'd gone, then she nipped on the other way, but it didn't really work.
No, didn't. That's disappointing, because I think she had that speed. She just couldn't get the right line at the finish, but...
Well, getting stopped twice, I mean, that's a bit of a nightmare. But Matvieva and Astrid Jacobsen advanced. I think Matvieva, clever race there, really. She let Jacobsen do all that donkey work.
Yeah,
pretty happy to let her do it.
Yeah, I think so, and then just took advantage of that last little bump we've got in the stadium, and I think just the bit of extra speed she got working with Kiken there meant she could get back on the tails of Jacobsen and finish off nicely.
Well, the under-23 World Cup leader there for the women in this lineup, and you've also, as you saw there, got bib number 12, the effervescent Jessica Diggins, who's a master at 5-kilometre victories this season. Bib number 5, Hannah Kolb, the fastest of the whole group in the qualification phase. Anna Maria Lampitz was the young woman wearing the under-23 bib, and Anna Maria's been in really good form. Anna Maria, who won the Pyeongchang dress rehearsal classic sprint and was overjoyed and finished very strongly. But if you look at this fourth, I should say, heat here, 3 Slovenians. That's bad luck on the draw. Alenka Šebešek, Anna Maria Lampitz and Vesna Fabian all together, not ideal.
No, indeed, but shows the great strength the Slovenian women's team has, particularly in sprinting. They've got with Katja Visnar on the first heat as well. To have 4 Slovenians through to the heats is a pretty good day for them. I mean, you never know, it could mean they could use some team tactics, but I think this is pretty fast and furious, and I expect Diggins to set, as she is already, quite a high pace out of the start. She's going to use that 5K sort of endurance that she has to just work it hard from the beginning and not worry too much about tactics. So it's going to be about hanging on to her, I think.
Vesna Fabian, who wears bib number 24, the slowest of these 6 in qualifying. She is the Olympic bronze medalist from Sochi. And, of course, this was a happy hunting ground for the legendary Petra Madic in classic sprints here. The winner of no less than 3 classic sprints in her time. So a hunting ground for Slovenia as it is now. But this quarter, a little more spread.
Yeah, you can see already I think the high pace that Diggins is pushing at the front there is really starting to split the field apart. And Inga Marsdotter's doing a good job to hold on the back of her. And as another veteran on the World Cup circuit, I think Inga Marsdotter, she's got good tactics. She knows how to play these sprint heats. And if she can just sit in behind Diggins, we've seen in a couple of the other heats, we already saw in the previous one how Matveyeva managed to nip round at the end. And I think Inga Marsdotter's thinking of doing something similar. Just hang on the back of Diggins for as long as possible. Yeah. And see if she can get into that semi-finals without too much
now
effort.
Just coming up on Jess there. Of course, she was 5th in the Sochi sprint behind Maika Kaspersen-Faller. She was a silver medalist in 2013 in Italy in the World Classic sprint there. So she's pretty capable at both codes. And you can see she's got tall, long levers and really using those to good effect. And look at this, the Slovenian wall, I'm afraid, has been defeated. They're having a private race there, but they're way off the pace.
Slovenian race at the back of the sprint heat there, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's really disappointing. Hannah Kolb there, also in that front trio.
Again, Diggins just got fantastic skis there. She was neck and neck with Inga Marsdotter as they started that hill and then took a good couple of metres out them, but did not take that corner there as well as she could have done. So I don't know that she's going to keep the advantage of that. Look, we can see.
Well, have a look there in 4th place there. That's Anna Maria Lampic, who's known for her sprint finishes. She's left it quite late. She's closed up there. Diggins, Inga Marsdotter, and then you've got Hannah Kolb, and then Anna Maria Lampic cutting on the inside. Ooh. They open the door for her there. She's coming very quickly at the moment, challenging for the Swedish 2nd place there, and I think Lampic is, Inga Marsdotter just there.
I thought Lampic, that was incredible at the end. We thought they were well out of it at the halfway point. They were dropping off the back at the top of that 2nd hill, but
well, the others were, but she finished really quickly. She did that also in Pyeongchang. But you've got to say, well done to Jess Diggins. She used that terrific endurance capacity that she's got, but it's worth remembering, Posey, isn't it? You've run in these races. You do the qualifier, then you do the quarters, then you do the semis, and if you're lucky enough, you're in the final. So if you use up too much petrol early, yeah, you will pay for it as you get through to the next stage.
Yeah, the aim is to get through the rounds using as little energy as possible, and that's what the best ones do. But on the other hand, these good endurance skiers have a bit more in the tank.
.252.90, the time for that 4th quarter-final. That is the 2nd quickest quarter-final.
Yeah, I think Lampic a little bit unlucky there to not
I think
quite
she
get that.
might get through, you know. 2:53.66.
Just outside Osberg's time.
I don't know, Osberg's 2:53.25, Hassen 2:52.53. Still those times from that 1st quarter-final. Anyway, let's enjoy the World Cup leader, Heidi Weng for Norway in this heat here. And Greta Laurent wears bib number 13. Weng the fastest, and now Marit Bjørgen. Well, once upon a time, this was absolutely her cup of tea. She could be nailed on and relied to take this. Olympic champion Marit Bjørgen in Vancouver in classic style, and then what was it? 3 World Championship victories. Actually, I think it's 4. She won in 2003 in Predazzo. She won in 2011 in Oslo. She won in 13 in Predazzo again, and 15 in Falun. So a lot of people are saying that the 10K race would be probably her best bet, but let's see how she does today.
I don't think you can ever write her off, can you? She's just got such great pedigree, such a great racer, and you know, she's always got a shout.
She's back from starting the family this year. She's had a pretty light racing season, didn't get involved in the Tour de Ski. She knows how to pick and choose and prepare, and she's got terrific upper body strength.
Yeah.
And she lies third at the moment, lying in third place there. That's Heidi Weng and Marit Bjørgen behind her.
But again, you know, Marit Bjørgen knows how to do these races. Just because she's in 5th now, I think she won't be worrying at all yet. She'll know that she's got time to move her way around the others and maneuver herself into a good position.
Yeah, you just sense there, Gaia Vurik in 2nd place. It's Hanna Falk who was leading in the whitish suit for Sweden, but now Marit Bjørgen taking closer attention. Heidi Weng likewise. At the back there, that's Natalie von Siebenthal, under 23 world champion, very talented racer.
Yeah, unusual to see her in a sprint heat though, so that's a good ski by her today. You tend to see her doing a bit better in the distance races, but is a good skate skier as well. So
yeah, she's definitely made progress.
Yeah, had some really great results this year. I've just seen her improve quite a lot, I think, in the last couple of years.
Hanna Falk not looking particularly elegant, but being pressured there by Heidi Weng. And 17, Marit Bjørgen beginning to get in the cruise mode. Now, traditionally, these big uphills were where Marit Bjørgen would really take advantage. She could sprint up these, and she could take... Oh, and she's down. She's had a clash there.
I think that was Greta Laurent. I did actually think that... no, sorry, it was Gaia Vurik.
I think it was Gaia Vurik.
Sorry about that. I did notice, though, she was trying to go 3 abreast, and there just really wasn't quite the space for that, so...
That was very expensive, and Bjørgen's going to be lucky to get back into this now.
She's going to be frustrated with that, I think.
Oh, really frustrated, because, you know, the only way back to qualify is going to be to get in one of the front 2 places. And in 3rd there, that is Italy, Gaia Vurik in 3rd spot there.
I think that might be Greta Laurent and Gaia Vurik behind, because she did get a little bit tangled up in that fall as well.
Yep.
But has managed to stay on the back much better than Bjørgen, just recovered a bit quicker.
Yeah, but leading
there comes Bjørgen as well. She still never quite, I don't think she's got enough time to get back.
Heidi Weng there, leading from Hanna Falk in the white. And then 13, that's Greta Laurent, you're perfectly right, in 3rd place there. And Heidi Weng just pushing away. She obviously would be unaware of what happened to Marit Bjørgen. And this time here, you can see one of the slowest times, and 2:56. So I'm afraid that Marit Bjørgen is out of this one. And by my reckoning, unofficially, I've got still Katrin Harsem and Ingvild Østberg from the first heat as the 2 lucky losers. Now, here's Bjørgen. Oh, just gets a right ski under Vurik.
Yeah, Vurik was trying to cut through a very, very small space there and just put her ski right over the top of Bjørgen. So a little bit cheeky, but these things do happen in sprint racing as well.
Yeah, that's... they race in classic style tomorrow, 10K Classic, which they'll be racing in the Nordic Ski World Championships. And it'll be interesting to see how Marit Bjørgen, she'll be I was going to use a rude word there, she'll be very frustrated because to go out at this early stage doesn't give her what she wanted, which was more experience.
When she looked very good as well there, I think.
So the first of the men's quarterfinals now. Posey, longer, even tougher course here. And interesting, neither Nikita Krukov or Pazhinsky from Russia, who were gold and silver medalists in Vancouver, neither qualified.
No, tough day for the Russians there. They are a little bit better in Classic, but I still think they'd expect to at least qualify. So interesting not to see them making it through. And Theodor Petson as well, just missing out in 31st place.
Yeah.
So
Andrew Young goes in the next quarterfinal for Great Britain, but now leading up here, we've got Federico Pellegrino. He wears bib number 2 for the... sorry, I mean, I do beg your pardon. Johannes Kleibo wearing bib number 1, the fastest of the qualifiers.
He's in the under-23 bib as one of the younger skiers out on the course, wearing the under-23 leaders bib. Had a real breakout season, I think.
Kalle Halvarsson, second quickest. I was impressed with that. Kalle Halvarsen, who's a great anchor racer for the men's 4x10 kilometer relay in the second week of the Nordic Worlds. If he shows up well here today, I think we should keep a careful note of him.
I think so too. I think he's been back on better form this season, disappointing last year, and just this season sort of getting back to top form. We've seen him win a couple of races and in sprint and distance, so he's a real all-round threat. And I think on a course like this, we've talked about how tough this men's course is. I think if you've got that little bit extra in the tank, then that can really help as we get through the quarterfinal and the semi-final here.
So Klæbo, Norway, leading the way here. Kalle Halvarsen in the white there, just about in third place. You've got the Russian Parfenov on the far side there, vying for fourth, I suppose you'd call it. 21. That's Renaud Jay. Interesting that Juvet from France, who should have qualified but was penalised 15 seconds for jumping the start in the qualification phase, which was totally unnecessary.
Yeah, it was just a really silly mistake. There's absolutely no need to do that whatsoever. You know, he would have been qualified. He would have been 9 seconds behind. Instead, he's nowhere. So he'll learn from that. He'll make sure not to do that again next time.
Halvarsen going up there with some purpose.
Yeah, looking good there. Really quite aggressive over the top of that hill. Just opening up a tiny gap. I think that'll close together as they go back down the hill here.
Yeah, they get this on this second climb. They get this sort of double climb, don't they?
Yeah, it's a really nasty course, you know. As you say, that second hill they've just been up there is pretty long, and the second bit of it is particularly steep. So you're almost thinking it's evening out a bit, and then it kicks up again right at the top.
Sweden versus Norway. Kalle Halvarsen on the inside to the right of your screen. Klæbo right there. Parfenov behind. And the power that these guys are putting into this sprint here, remarkable. And Kalle Halvarsen, look at the strength of the Swede. Beautiful rhythm, upper body absolutely straight, lots of core strength. And coming round Posey, and looks as if he should qualify, although the others are trying to close.
Yeah, he should really qualify here. He's strong at the finish as well, but that's pretty tight. He definitely... Oh, I was going to say he can't afford to ease up, but obviously he felt like he could, and he did have enough. He did have enough space.
That was very cheeky. Make a note of the time there, 3:09.
I mean, they're saying it's a photo finish, but I think he's definitely did get that. But I
thought he did, yeah.
I personally think I would have given it at least one more stride before I eased up at the end there, just to make absolutely certain of that.
Roman Furger there is the man who has come into a potential qualifying position.
It'd be interesting to see, David, today if we see the same in the men's as the women's, because we saw in the women's there that first heat was the fastest. Partly that was a really strong heat, but I don't know if it's through the day it's getting a bit warmer, and I don't know if that's slowing the snow down slightly as well. So it could be a real advantage to be in one of the earlier heats, I think.
Yeah, so just looking at that, and indeed Roman Furger of Switzerland into third place, Parfenov only fourth. Well, that's a good effort by Furger. Not a name that you'll see too often. He's 26 years of age, from Switzerland, and he's been in the Junior Worlds and the Under-23 Worlds. Got a bronze medal back in Erzurum, Furger, in the Under-23 Worlds in 2012. So it's taken his time, but he's there or thereabouts. And now, heat number 2. Well, Andrew Young, has he picked a tough heat? Oh boy, has he. Because there is the sprint champion of last season and the leader of this season's rankings, Federico Pellegrino. Chanavat of France. 4 top 10s this season for him. And then 15, Petter Northug. Well, his eyes, we understand, are very much on the sprints, particularly the team sprint. He's had a pretty miserable season other than that. The third best racer of the whole season in the overall rankings, Alex Harvey of Canada. And the outsider on the clock, Carl-Johan Vesberg. Well, Posey, Andrew Young, big guy, podium last year, and this year, 3 top 20 finishes, the last 3, 11th, 16th and 14th. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Let's see how he goes as they all line up to the start there. See
Andrew wears 11.
Yeah, Andrew said that this is one of the toughest World Cup courses that he's ever seen, with those 2 climbs. So it is really, really challenging out there. And I mean, he has picked himself a pretty special heat here today with 2 of the fastest qualifiers. And Nortug,
is that a broken pole at the end, I think, or problem there for the man at the back?
Yeah,
something. Yeah, he's got a broken
he's
pole.
got a broken. He must just, I think, kick the basket off there.
More importantly, a much better start by Andrew Young. It's been known as his Achilles heel that it takes him a longer time than most to get the engine going, but he's right up there with Pellegrino in the red bib.
Yeah, and he looks really, really smooth and really comfortable as well there. It looks like the pace is a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, he's not over pushing it, is he?
No, he's very, very strong, nice long glide. You see he's just balancing really well ski to ski. All of them look like this isn't the fastest pace I've ever seen, although can be deceptive sometimes. They look like they're working not much at all, but they're so smooth that it's a lot more going on than you believe. But I think
very good morning to everybody up at the Huntley Club. I hope you're getting interested in this because it's our chap Andrew Young improving all the time, leading the World Cup champion Pellegrino on the inside in that sort of darker suit. And then after that you've got Alex Harvey in the red for Canada.
Yeah, you see Youngie just having a quick look over his shoulder there as he went down the downhill, just sort of scoping out who's still right behind him and where everyone is on the course and how they're doing. And I think as they start approaching the top of this second climb, that's when the pace is going to up and we're going to see maybe Pellegrino making a move.
Yeah, he's a tall guy, isn't he, Andrew? Long levers, big guy. But I love the way he's skiing at the moment because at the moment he's commanding the pace. He's actually going at his pace, but now, as you say, this may be the crucial point. He ups his tempo.
Yeah, look at Pellegrino. He's trying to make his move here. You can see you've got to be really, really light on your feet, really snappy as you go over. Youngie's in a good position though, and he's doing really well to stay in front there. Just really, really good over the top of the hill.
That was really good, and he was in that very soft snow as well.
Yeah, I think that's Shanavar just getting tripped up in the soft snow there, so off the pace at the back, he'll be frustrated with that.
Right, so Andrew Young at the moment, single file, with Pellegrino right behind him.
Yeah, not always great to be in the front on those downhills because the draft effect can suck the others back up to you, but
Westberg in third place, the white suit. Then Alex Harvey's cut right inside Westberg. That was interesting trackcraft, but here comes Alex Harvey, and here comes Pellegrino upping the tempo. Andrew Young just needs to keep this going. He doesn't want Alex Harvey to close on him. Needs to be aware of that as they come into the last 100 metres. And Pellegrino has the advantage.
Done.
Now, come on, Andrew. Push it home. Finish the job. Make sure you get through to the semi-finals. Keep it going. Alex Harvey hasn't got to you yet. This is good. Come on, Andrew. Oh, it was a lunge, but I think he might just about have done it.
I'm not quite sure. It was pretty tight between the two of them.
Didn't seem aware at the too aware of the danger of Alex Harvey.
I think he just was sort of focusing on his own race there. It's important to try and think about what you're doing instead of the other skiers around you, but it was pretty tight on the line.
309.4. This is a 311.4, so this is a much slower. As you said, it was tactical. There's Shanavat having his problems. Now let's have a look here. Come on. Oh, I think his boot is there.
It's hard to tell from that angle. We need more of a side angle, I think,
I'm having a hopeful guess.
Ooh,
here we go.
Oh, look. They've given it to him, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Kept us guessing right till the end, didn't he?
Yeah, and you can see there just 400ths. But he's through to the semis. Well done, Andrew Young. He just needs to be alert because it'll be even faster when it comes to the semi-finals. It'll be even more competitive.
Yeah, I think what he did really well there was he maintained quite a good line on that last corner coming into the finishing straight. So Pellegrino got a bit ahead of him, but he was able to cut the corner tight, and that gave him a little bit of breathing space over Alex Harvey for the last 100 metres or so.
Third quarter-final, Simeon Hamilton, the fastest of the 6:3:08.57. And here he is, runner-up in Toblach this season in the World Cup, which was part of the Tour de Ski. 8th there, Finn Horgan, Kroh, real danger. 2nd at altitude in Davos, 3rd in the Tour de Ski stage at Valmuster, 4 top 10s. Eric Bransdal, who I often regard as the head waiter. He's tactically very astute. Gleb Rativki over the moon in Korea, winning the Pyeongchang dress rehearsal race. Alexei Polteranin, I think he's done really well to qualify. I'd keep an eye on him for the second week for the men's 15-kilometre classic race. That's where I think he might be a challenger for a medal. And Simone Urbane of Italy, chronometrically the outsider.
Yeah, Polteranin's not a face we see very often in the sprint heats. He's done well to qualify today, particularly in skate. He's normally a much stronger classic skier, so if anything, that's when we tend to see him in the sprints. But done well today, and for him, as you say, I think he'll be thinking about that 15K classic tomorrow and in Lahti as well. So
yeah, because Dario Cologna was another man who didn't qualify.
Way down in 45th today, I think, or something. So
yeah.
not his day today.
Simone Urbani of Italy, the early leader up the first climb, and now actually in the lead Eric Bransdal. Well, as I said, he can wait and he can lead, but I think he's difficult to read. For me, he's a really interesting one. He's a good sort of tactician because he doesn't always play it the same way. Sometimes you'll see him hanging back in sixth, you think he's totally out of it, and then he's able to nip round, and sometimes he leads from the beginning like he is today. But for me, David, today is a very important day for these Norwegian sprint men because there's 6 of them started, 6 of them in the top 15, and they've got 4 start spots in Lahti at the World Champs next year. Yeah,
so they've
and I mean, we've got people like Paul Goldberg not here, not racing, and he's 6th in the rankings.
Yeah, Emma
also,
Iversen not here, Sondre Tervold Fossli not here, so some really, really good names, not even making the start list.
Presumably Theodor Pedersen has blown it by not qualifying.
Yeah, potentially.
Well, actually, he's Sweden, isn't he?
He's Sweden, so he might still be in with a look in. But that Norwegian team, they can't afford to rest up and wait till next week.
So really focusing on the man up front there.
Yeah, Bransdal really setting the pace and being very dominant out in the front here.
Well, he's doing a similar thing to Andrew Young. He's controlled the pace all the way through this race. And I wonder whether it's going to be something similar.
Yeah, I think that there is some sense in it. I think it is quite choppy as they go up this second hill. So if you can choose your line, that's really good. But
I think the line of Simeon Hamilton on the right of your screen is better there. I think it's less choppy than on the side where Bransdal was.
Yeah, I think it's a toss-up. If you're on the left, you've got the tighter corners, you get to the top of the hill, but it is faster on the right, so people seem to be almost making time up as they get to the top. But if they don't have enough time to get around and in front, it's wasted energy, because Bransdal, as you see, still ended up out in front there. Yeah,
Finn Krogh in 3rd place there for Norway, trying to close the gap. That second heat was relatively slow. 3:11, 3:09.
Bransdal and Hamilton got a tiny bit of a gap, but I don't think you can write off Finn Krogh just yet. We've seen a lot of change just in the last 200 metres of these sprints so far.
He's just stepping it up, isn't he? You can see the smaller statue, but he's still got 3, 4, 5 metres, and that's really good cornering by Bransdal.
Yeah.
And again, a little bit like Andrew Young, he kept the skis running there.
Yeah.
And on his outside, he's got Hamilton trying to come between them. There is Finn Krogh, 3:10.1. So that's just a little bit slower, and Rativki in 4th place. But just looking at the first of the quarterfinals, Furga was 3:09.36. So Finn Krogh, at this moment, I would say, is one of the people who might just squeeze in.
Yeah, a strong finish, but he left it too late there. So didn't quite have the time. I think if that finishing straight had been sort of even just 25 metres longer, he could well have pipped it, but just didn't have quite enough space and quite enough time. Another strong ski by one of the Americans there, Simi Hamilton. I think confidence after his podium position in Todd Black, and he's another one that I think could have a good day in Lahti if he's on his top form. Everything needs to go perfectly, but we could see him at the top.
Yeah, but as you say, he's difficult to read because he can do it from the front and he can come from behind.
Yeah.
And we might actually see that in this race. The semi-final might be completely different.
Yeah, it might do it in an absolutely different way.
So now, Ristomati Hakola, the quickest of these 6, 3:07.71. That compares with the first heat, Kleibo, the fastest qualifier, 3:04. Here's Andrew Newell from Vermont, sixth in career. That's his best this season. Skura from Norway, a winner in Toblach in the World Cup. And Hakula, 5 top 20s. And interesting, he'll be looking forward to racing in Lahti, and so will his teammate Matti Ulai. Both of them pretty experienced sprinters. Also in the lineup here, yeah, this is Hiroyuki Miyazawa, I should say, Miyazawa, 3 top 20s, and the experienced Maciej Starega to complete the lineup. He's the slowest, about 5 seconds slower than Hakula on their quarterfinal times. So this is a little difficult to read this.
Yeah, it's not got all the big names in it necessarily, but that doesn't mean it's going to be any easier than any of the other heats to get through. I think by the time you get to the top 30 in the Men's World Cup, anyone on their day can get through to the semi-finals. I think my pick would be Sindre Bjornsted Skar. I think he's got a good chance of getting through. He's been on quite good form this season. Yeah,
and it is Skar who's leading. Interesting, Posey, when you you select your position as to which quarterfinal you want to go into. This gives these guys, whoever qualifies, less recovery time. I'm really pleased that Andrew went into that tough heat, number 2, because now he's got much more time to get himself ready for the semis.
Yeah, absolutely. And in some ways it could have been seen as a risk because it was one of the tougher heats, but he's got a good amount of time now that he can recover before the semi-finals. And, you know, the difference between the first and second heats and the fifth, that's 10-15 minutes of recovery, and that's an awful lot, actually. If you think about the brief gap, you're only getting an hour, maybe. So, you know, 15 minutes makes a lot of difference there.
First climb down, now they come to the nasty one. Just on that quick subject there, what would Andrew be doing now to recover, to, you know, deal with the lactate?
So firstly, you need to make sure you go and warm down. It's only 3 minutes. It doesn't sound like a lot, but you've got to make sure you have a gentle jog or a gentle ski, something that will flush that lactate out of the system. Sadly, we're not the most luxurious of teams out there. A lot of the other teams will have a physiotherapist on site that can give them a light massage again to recover in between rounds. Don't think, sadly, we've got one here today, so he'll have to make do without that. But then it's just getting a bit of food in the system, plenty to drink, staying nice and warm, and then getting out there and getting warm a little bit again before the semi-finals.
So still Sindre Skar for Norway leading, the Toblach World Cup winner. Then you can see the Finns on the left of your picture. That's 5. That's Hakula.
Yeah.
And on the far side, Ulai. And then 16, Andrew Newell from America. He's been so close to winning one of these. He's been trying for years, but that's great acceleration by Skar. Really powered himself into a 5-meter lead.
Yeah, that was a really good finish over the top of the hill there. He's got himself a good gap as he goes down that hill.
And this is good skiing by Skar. And there you can see the current lucky loser men. And he's opened up quite a gap over the Finns. Skis going really well. He's going to bless his serviceman for the skis that he's got at the moment.
Absolutely, that's fantastic. As I said, sometimes on the downhills you can have a gap, but that can get sort of lessened with the draft. But he must have a good pair of skis because he managed to hold that.
Finnish boys challenging nicely there. They're all beginning to close up a little bit. Skar now puts in a little bit more acceleration. Just puts the foot down just to make sure, and he's leaving the 2 Finns to fight it out for 2nd and 3rd place. Hakula gets it, Ulai must wait. 308.9.
It's one of the faster ones we've seen.
308.5. Sorry, am I checking? 308.53.
Yeah, I think that's the fastest we've seen so far.
Yeah, it is, and
that's with him easing up at the end. Actually,
yeah.
He sort of took the foot off the pedal for the last couple of
309 points. Just looking at Ulai, 309.11. Furga, I think is still in line for a fastest loser place.
There's Finn Horgan as well.
And Finn Krogh. I still think it's those 2. And they were indicating that Ulai would be in there with a shout as well for a fastest loser spot there with 3:09.06, and that's quite right. So now on to the last of our quarterfinals, and well, we'll get to him in a minute. This is the man who was slowest in the quarters, Jovian Hediger, 3:14.3. And bib 14 belongs to Baptiste Gros, big, beefy guy. Look at that. He'll beat you down in a sprint. 12 there for Norway. Second quickest of these 6, Horvad Tagbol. 6, Sergei Ustigov. Ustigov absolutely in top form this season, both in terms of sprints and in terms of the overall World Cup. And then also in the lineup here, Bernhard Tritscher for Austria. He weighs 22. And for Finland, Heikki Korpela, one of the men who just squeezed into the top 30. But Ustigov, 4th best in the overall rankings, 3rd best in the sprints. And away we go.
Ustigov didn't have the best of starts there. He's a little bit slow off the line, and you can see that. He's now back in 5th as they'd come out of the stadium. And Tagbol and Baptiste Gros really belted off the line. They look like they're working hard right from the start.
Ustigov, who's had a couple of victories in Davos at altitude and Valmuster.
Winning everything in sight during the Tour de Ski as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he led every stage, didn't he?
It was absolutely unbelievable. Never seen such a display of dominance to win, you know, sprint, distance, skate, classic. He was just completely unbeatable for
well,
that 10 days.
I remember we were saying, can this go on? Can it go on? I mean, it was extraordinary.
It was pretty incredible.
Now, Korpela on the left of your picture there, trying to get up into the lead there with Baptiste Gros. Baptiste Gros can make himself very big on these trails.
Yeah, he's not the tallest guy out there, but he's a sturdy skier. He's really muscular and very, very strong.
Yeah, 9th in Falun was is his best performance of the season so far.
Yeah, not quite hitting the heights he did last season, did he, David? He had some really incredible results and a couple of podiums. But
yeah, he was the 4th best cross-country skier. Got a podium got a win right to the end, at the end of the season in Quebec. But I really love his attitude, and he's a character, and you need characters. It's very much that. Yeah,
it's great I really like seeing some of the nations outside Scandinavia doing well as well, because it can be sometimes really dominated by the Norwegians and the Swedes, so it's good to see the French having a stronger sprint team, particularly for the last couple of years.
Ustigov just working his way through to put himself in a decent position, and they're all involved at the moment.
Yeah, everyone's still in it now as they come into that second hill. They haven't seen it break up at all.
Tagbol for Norway on the right of your picture, 14 near side, Baptiste Gros. Then you've got Ustigov, who's 3rd, just on that far side. 4th place, 22, that's Bernhard Tritscher for Austria. And Ustigov's come out of that well. He's come out in 2nd place. Yeah. So Andrew Newell took that line. That is looking to be the quicker line.
I think it does look like people on the right seem to be able to go a little bit quicker, but it's too long a way around, and if you can be in front and on the left-hand side of the top, you get a better line as you hit this downhill. So I think Ustigov played it smart there, because he just tucked it in 2nd place, but on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Tagbol, though, 6th in Toblach, 7th in Falun, good results. And it's not entirely over yet, but Tagbol looking good there, approaching this right-hander, which takes them into the final 500, but there's a burst of power. Ustigov's realised it. Baptiste Gros, the beast, is on his outside, and it's going to be an interesting fight there.
Tight.
He was just a little slow. He didn't commit there. He just lost the impulsion, Baptiste. He's going to have to come again, and that's exactly what he's doing. Far side, Baptiste Gros. Ustigov eases in 2nd place. Ustigov had a good ride there. He didn't use too much energy.
Yeah, played it well. He slow off the line, had to work his way through the pack at the beginning of the race, but got himself in 2nd position and knew that was all he needed to do today. You don't need to win these quarterfinals. You just got to get through to the semis.
Yeah, and Tagbol there. That was a really good piece of racing by the Norwegian. As you say, it's very competitive from the Lillehammer Ski Club. Well, Posey, great atmosphere as we see one of the star sprinters of the season, Stina Nielsen.
Yeah.
First semi-final.
First semi-final. Nice to see fans out in force for the race today.
Olympic champion. Look what's happening here. We're getting all the riches in the first semi-final.
Yeah, I think the class starts to show through as you come to the semi-finals. So we're getting a really, really strong lineup with those two. Van der Graaf, you can never quite rule her out. She often can nip into the final as well. She's a really good skier. Same with Osberg.
Yeah, lucky loser. Now, what she learned from that quarter-final, because she used an awful lot of energy early on, and she didn't last out.
Yeah, I think her normal strategy is go off hard and try and hold on, and it didn't work. So I wonder if we'll see her trying to do something a bit more conservative this time round. So we got 3 Norwegians through into the semi-finals here, once again being dominant. We got Astrid Jacobsen as well, we didn't quite see on the start there.
Yeah, we didn't also introduce Sophie Caldwell from the United States. She's just about in second place at the moment, and Stina Nielsen, that yellow and blue for Sweden, bib number 1, 4 there. That is Sophie Caldwell for the USA.
Just think Stina's got so much confidence at the moment. She's been on fantastic form all season. Good couple of wins under her belt and doing great in the Tour de Ski as well in the distance races. She's confident, and she knows if she skis her best, she can win on any day, and I think that's so important. Oh, and that's Sophie Caldwell just getting tripped up there, going around that corner. Really, really frustrating. She was in a good position and has ended up at the back of the pack as they round the bend into the first uphill. Yeah,
she's not had a bad season. Micah Caspersen-Faller a little bit off the pace there with Lorien van der Graaf. So, again, the pace being pushed from the front here.
It's Osberg again, I think, isn't it? She's decided to go with that same approach and get out to the...
She sort of leads. She needs to actually control the pace so that it's fine to lead, but let her do it at her speed, so she's got a bit of petrol left in the tank.
Yeah, my mistake, actually, David. I think that's Jacobsen in the front.
It is.
There's too many Norwegians out there.
Yeah. Osberg just ahead of Micah Caspersen-Faller. There's Sophie Caldwell after that unfortunate problem.
Yeah, managed to at least get back on the back there, so that's good. Hopefully she hasn't had to use too much energy to do that. And going well, getting in the place on the left-hand side, going up the hill, which I personally think is the best.
Yeah, it seems to be. Although just looking at that, Van der Graaf really struggling, even though she's still in 4th place. And Astrid Jacobsen comes out quickest ahead of Stina Nielsen. And then Micah Caspersen-Faller, and those 3 opening up ahead of Osberg.
Yeah,
and now coming down this hill.
Really aggressive by Jacobsen in the top of that downhill as well. Just did a few extra sides of free skating to get as much speed as possible before she goes into a tuck. But look at Stina Nielsen's skis as well. She doesn't want to let anyone else be in the front. I think that's where she's used to being, and she wants to stay there.
Gets to the little pedestrian bridge there at 2:26, and Stina Nielsen going into the lead.
It's pretty scrappy as they came around the corner, and Nielsen was able to, she took a wider bend, and it helped her, meant she had more speed as she went into that final bit.
Olympic champion, only 3rd.
Only 3rd, but still time, I think.
That was a little wobble from her. She lost impulsion there. She's going to have to really fight for this now. And now she comes on the near side. Micah Caspersen-Faller, she's going to get the lunge here. Stina Nielsen crosses first, and Caspersen-Faller gets there ahead of Jacobsen. That extra gear that she has at the end of the business end of the race. But Stina Nielsen just so impressive, and she isn't just a sprinter. She's now beginning to develop her distance racing as well.
She is, and I think that's really important as well, because it shows she's such a really good all-round skier. Just there was a quick replay there of that crash by Caldwell again, as we said, just had her ski stuck under someone else's, just enough to trip her up.
And remember, it's worth remembering that Stina Nielsen, she flagged her potential some seasons ago. She won the Junior World Sprint in Erzurum in Turkey in 2012. She won that was in freestyle. In classic style, she won the Junior Worlds in 2013 in Liberec. And the silver medalist at the Worlds in Falun on Swedish snow. So she has... Well, we sometimes say that a racer flatters to deceive. There's no deception about Stina Nielsen. She's absolutely top-notch.
She is indeed. Just looking at the time there, David, from that semi-final, it was 2:57, whereas we were looking for 2:51. Nielsen won the first heat in, so it's slowing down as it warms up over the day, I think.
Yeah, it's getting that bit sugary, isn't it?
It's getting quite sugary. You can see the racers having to pick their feet up quite high as they go up the hill to get over the loose snow. It's tough conditions for them.
World Cup leader Heidi Weng. Well, this course is helpful to people who've got endurance and strength. Jessie Diggins, well, I don't know what she has for breakfast, but, you know, it's actually like the whole of the Americans. There's Keegan. They seem to have got the same psychologist working with them.
Yeah, they've got a lot of enthusiasm, and they just go out there and they look like they're having a great time every race.
Ida Ingemar's-Dotter, terrific athlete. Probably the tallest of all these, and 23 Harsem. Yeah, just it would be foolish just to cross her out.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever write a Norwegian off. You know, she's not quite been on the podium, but she's been in the final, and I'm sure she'll want to be there again today.
So 2 Norwegians, 2 for the United States, 2 for Sweden. Nice and even. Semi-final number 2, and over on the far side, Hannah Falk getting a good start. You can see she's just that little bit stockier than Ida, who's the taller of the 2 Swedes at the back of the field at the moment.
Yeah, she's quite stocky a little bit. You can see her hunched over a little bit. She doesn't necessarily get up quite as high as some of the other skiers, but she keeps a good tempo and a very, very strong skier as well.
Jess Diggins right up there with Heidi Weng as well. Heidi Weng's been pretty effective in the sprints.
Oh, sorry, just a bit of a crash at the back there. Ingemar's-Dotter and Harsem getting tangled up, and Ingemar's-Dotter losing a pole. So, oh, that's disappointing. I think
that's
she's
probably
off
taken her out of the race
now.
completely, because she's never going to get back from there.
No, and you can see the pole she's got is about 20 centimetres too long for her as well. So she's hardly able to use it properly compared to her own equipment.
Heidi Weng, a winner of the 2nd sprint of the season in Lillehammer, and twice 3rd, including the Pyeongchang race. So now 4 away, and the tactics here. Looking at Hannah Falk there, ahead of Heidi Weng. And then you've got bib number 3, and that is Keegan Randall.
Yeah, Keegan's got a slightly better line this time, so I think she'll want to be starting to ramp it up a bit and see if she can maintain her lead as they get over the top of that hill. But Heidi Weng is right on her tails. Oh, looks like hard work, doesn't it? It's getting heavy going out there.
It really is. And in fact, Keegan Randall up there.
Yeah, Heidi Weng's going to go into 2nd as they come over the top of the hill.
Yeah, Jessica Diggins in just about 4th place. And all credit to Ida Ingemar's-Dotter. She's really trying to close up there. She's got within, well, 6 or 7 meters, which is a pretty good effort. All credit to her for, you know, really giving it. And Keegan Randall now coming round there, and Heidi Weng in the... I
think that's Harsem down again. That's her. She clipped with Ingemar's-Dotter at the beginning, and she's down again there.
And another one
down. I didn't even see what happened there.
No,
they're all over the place. Diggins getting a clear run because of that to the finish.
Diggins and Weng, and 15. That's Hannah Falk there. So single file. What a semi-final of incident there. But this is Jessica Diggins into the final. No question about that. Heidi Weng. Look at Ida Ingemar's-Dotter trying to come on the far side there of Hannah Falk. It won't happen. 2:56. It's 2:56.19. It is quicker. Diggins, she'll be delighted with that. Weng in 2nd place.
Hopefully we can get a replay, David, to see what happened on that last bump there, because you didn't quite see what caused either of those falls. It looked, for me, for Harsem, it looked like there wasn't even anything that caused it. She just got tripped up in that slightly deep, sugary snow.
Yeah, now, what are we looking at here? Well, that's Ida Ingemar's-Dotter, who gets the broken pole at the back. Now, this is the crucial one. And, well... So welcome back, and now straight on to the men's semi-finals. I'll bring you a little bit of that in a moment. Just want to confirm the women. Stina Nielsen, Micah Kaspersen-Faller, Jessica Diggins and Heidi Weng by right. Lucky losers Astrid Jakobsen and Hannah Falk go through to the final. Now we'll concentrate on the men. Eric Bransdal, now, is he going to lead or is he going to wait? This is going to be the fascination for me, just looking to see what he does. Kalle Halvarsen, well, he's capable of sprinting. He's obviously, he's a very good distance runner as well. So, Finn Hagen, Kroy, all the big guns are lining up here now.
Third Norwegian of the day again in this semi-final, so they're packing them in. 2 Swedes and a Brit.
Andrew Young, right of screen, now furthest away from you. And they have worked on the start there, but you can see he's about 5 of 6, 4 of 6 now. That's good skiing by Andrew. Tucks in on that left-hander.
Yeah, Klæbo really sprinted out of the front, out of the start there to get into first place. So he's obviously going to use similar tactics to the quarterfinal and try and lead from the front again.
Yeah, so Andrew now back into 5th place. So it's the under-23 points leader ahead of the red bib of Pellegrino. But in fact, on the far side there, Bransdal right up with the pace again.
Yeah, sticking at the front again, so obviously decided this is a course where it pays to stay clear in front.
And Finn Krogh going up there, could be 3 Norwegians in a line, and it is.
Yeah, this is going to be a close one. I don't think it's going to separate much. It's going to be really key to see how they attack that second hill, because the pace is pretty fast off the front compared to some of those quarterfinals. We saw a little bit more tactical skiing going on.
Yeah, Andrew's back in 5th place. They put a lot of early pace in. He was able to dictate the pace in his quarter, but he's not being given that luxury this time around.
He didn't get quite the start, I don't think, that he did get in the quarterfinals, so that enabled him to get in front and dictate, and as you say, he hasn't quite been able to do that this time around. He's not out of touch so far.
Not. And we've got the big climb to come now, so this is where maybe if he saved a bit of power now, 1 or 2 have gone a little fast, but this is tough. Under 23 versus the World Cup leader, and Klæbo in picture there. 3rd in Ruka in the opening sprint of the season. Pellegrino, who's been, well, his last 4, 7th, 2nd, 4th and 1st. That's why he's got the leading position. And they've just eased off. Come on, Andrew. This is the moment there to come on and get up there.
Yeah, there they
you
go.
Need to find a position.
That's the pace going. They're all getting to the top. They're sprinting. Pellegrino's trying to get in that first position as he gets over the top of the hill, but I don't think he's going to be able to get around Klæbo.
Yeah, just a bit of disappointed there with Andrew. He didn't seem to.
Yeah,
he didn't seem to move when he needed to move.
Not Sparky. He's back in 6th now, and he's off the pace a little bit. I don't think he's got it in him for another round today, unfortunately.
No. And it's all happening up front now. And it's very much as it has been, the under-23 leader from the World Cup, sprint ranking points leader, Klæbo, Norway, Pellegrino, Italy.
Yeah, the key is for Klæbo to keep his position as they go around this little bump into the stadium, because we've seen a lot of changes just in the very last part of the race. So he's got a gap, but Pellegrino and Finn Hagen are making time up on him there.
Yeah, 8 coming through there. That's Finn Hagen Krogh. He's in 3rd place. And try to skip through on the inside. That was great track rock.
Oh, fantastic.
And still Klæbo, Norway, Italy. Ooh. And I think Pellegrino, well, he's 3rd. Yeah, I thought he was 3rd. Was he not aware?
That was incredibly tight. What a great finish by Finn Hagen Krogh in that last corner. Just able to sneak in and get a really good line and keep his speed as well, though.
Yeah, that was
tight.
Yeah, Finn Hagen, who was the 3rd best sprinter of last season.
Yeah, we can just see it again here. Look, Finn Hagen started on the outside and then was able to cut in quite narrowly as he took that corner, and just had some great speed to finish off on a high.
Yeah, hasn't won this year, but he's had couple of second and third place finishes in terms of the podium. There's Finn's boot closest to us. And you can see how far Pellegrino was caught out there. So you need to 3:08.45. That's actually quite a speedy semi-final.
It's pretty quick, as I say it. I think Klæbo was pushing a really heavy pace right from the beginning and a very aggressive approach. And to me, David, that's Erik Bransdal not going to Lahti. If he's not in the final, I don't know if he's going to get any further than that, because you've got 2 Norwegians to come in the next heat as well. So that could be his world champs over before it's even begun.
There's the lineup for the second of the semi-finals. Klæbo's remarkable, isn't he? He's only 20 years of age. At the Junior Worlds in Almaty 2 seasons ago, he was third in the classic sprint final, and in Raznov in 2016, he won the Junior World title.
Yeah, this is his first year as a senior skier, and sometimes, particularly on the men's side, when it takes longer to develop, it can take you a few years to make that adjustment from junior to senior, but he hasn't seemed to have any problems whatsoever.
So 12 tugboat for Norway. They've got Skora, tugboat for Norway. So 2 in there. 5, this is Hakola for Finland. Hakola qualified pretty well, 3:07.71. He was the fastest of his quarterfinal, and then Ustigov looking pretty mean and pretty cool at the same time. Simeon Hamilton in this lineup, and also Martti Ulai, who got a lucky loser place. So I wonder who's going to make the pace here. It won't, I don't think, be Ustigov. It might be Tugbold, the Norwegian again. Yeah,
or Skar led his quarterfinal from start to finish, so might see if he chooses the same tactics for this. Yeah, really aggressive pace off the line again by the Norwegians.
Well, you're absolutely right. Both Norwegians right up there.
Absolutely bolted off the line.
Ustigov at the back, waiting. Again, he'll look to qualify with the greatest of economy if he can.
Yeah, I mean, we did see this in his quarterfinal, Ustigov. He didn't look like he had a great start, and he was in the back as they went around this first bend, but still managed to get into second place with relative ease before the finish. But I think he knows he needs to be in a better position as they start the climb. So you can see he is working quite hard now to try and make up that gap and get in front, even trying to go around Simi Hamilton as well and see if he can get up into the top 3 by the time they finish that first climb.
So you get up onto this little plateau before you drop down to get ready for the really serious climb. And you can see that Ustigov, that effort has only left him in 5th place. Simeon Hamilton in 3rd. Behind the first of the 2 Finns.
I think that's Hakola.
Hakola, yeah.
And Jula's a little bit off the pace in 6th already.
But the 2 Norwegians, well, I don't know, there wouldn't have necessarily been any team orders, because as you rightly said right from the beginning, the Norwegians are fighting for ship tickets to get the ferry across the Baltic, across to Helsinki.
Yeah, they want to be on that bus.
Bus?
Maybe. Well, it's not too far, actually. Well, but bus going on to the boat. We can both be right.
Okay. So, leading up there, Score on the right of your picture, 12, Tagbol on the left. Now Ustigov just about into 3rd place, and he's gone on that far side, which we have seen consistently is the place to be, to come out on them as you breast this rise here. Now, has it worked for him? Ooh, he's 3rd now.
Ooh, not quite.
Pushed.
I think Togbal and Skar did a good job of, I think it was Togbal on the right, actually did quite a good job of getting fast enough that he could pip in front of Ustigov there, and that hasn't worked very many times today.
Ustigov's good skis there, just cruising around. 2 famous names in the lucky loser spot there at the moment. It all depends on this. And the Norwegians are leading the way. So
we've got Skar in front, we've got Togbal
Skar
behind.
and Tugbull and
Ustigov coming up pretty fast though. It's just, this finish is so tight, and how you take these last corners can make a huge difference. So it's absolutely not over until the finish line.
Ustikov's not getting there. He lost that
coming
purchase.
in as well. Fantastic cornering by Hamilton this time.
Yeah, coming in there. Ustikov going on the far side. Has he got enough there? He might just. Oof, that is close.
That's tight.
But that just shows you, that's sort of reminiscent where, you know, someone like Petter Northug in days gone by could put 5 pole pushes in and suddenly find himself right up front and in a medal position.
Just really good acceleration, able to just find an extra gear just to finish at as they go down those last 50 meters or so.
And you can only do that if you're managing your energy supplies.
Yeah, you can't, if you're already going full out, there's no way you're going to be able to do that. So Ustikov obviously had enough left in the tank that he could up the pace as they came into that finishing straight.
But he had to use that because he got himself into trouble.
He did a bit. I thought that Simi Hamilton might sneak in as well there, because he took that last corner quite well, but didn't have the best of lines and didn't quite have enough speed to be able to take advantage of it.
Tugbowl and Pellegrino have got the lucky loser places. So Finn Krogh, Johannes Kleibo, Federico Pellegrino, Sindre Skor, Sergei Ustikov and Tugbowl all into the men's final. Women's final coming up. Well, welcome to a lovely afternoon in Otepaa. Posey Musgrave, together with myself, David Goldstrom, for the women's and men's sprint finals in freestyle format here. The first time on this 21st World Cup visit to Otepaa in Estonia that they've ever raced freestyle. And we're down to the business end. And in the final, getting ready to go for the big points here. The Olympic champion closest to you, Maika Kaspersen-Faller. Not the quickest in her semi-final. She was beaten by Stina Nielsen, her arch rival, who lies second to her in the points table. Astrid Jakobsen having a really good Saturday. One of the lucky losers through from the first semi-final, along with Hanna Falk from Sweden, and the other two. Well, here is Stina Nielsen. The other two contenders will be Jess Diggins, who won her semi-final from the World Cup leader in the yellow bib, Heidi Weng. So, Posey, where are your 10 euros going?
I mean, it's hard to write off those two that have been at the top the whole season. That's Stina Nielsen and Maiken Kaspersen-Faller. For me, I think Stina looks a little bit more in control today. She's won her quarter and her semi with a lot of authority. You know, she's been out in front and she's controlled it and she's skied in a way that she wants to. So,
and she'll be looking for her third win of the season. I agree with you. I mean, she's looked impressive.
Yeah.
And she is, you know, a year or so ago when Maika Kaspersen-Faller, you know, was winning, you know, and she was really stamping her authority. Now it looks as if Stina Nielsen has really matured. The strength is there.
Yeah, just really coming to own in the last few. We saw her start to get on the podium in the last couple of seasons and have some good results the last one, but I think this has been her most consistent season by far, and it's really impressed me.
She's smart as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a good, I think it takes more than luck to be in the final every time. You see people fall over and get in accidents and get caught up in problems, but you see Stina Nielsen and Kaspersen-Faller, that doesn't happen to them, and that's not because they get lucky, it's because they're very good skiers.
What about Heidi Weng?
Heidi Weng, you know, she, you know, you never write her off either, so she does have a chance, and she's looked good today. I think she would have won her semi-final if there hadn't been a little bit of tussling going on in the last 100 meters of their semi-final. But I think my money would still be on those top two. Yeah,
well, Jess Diggins, she's done tremendously well. She unexpectedly won her semi-final, but take nothing away from her. I've got to say about Heidi Weng, I mean, she's the World Cup leader. I mean, she's done fantastically well. Okay, Marit Bjørgen has been following a different path, as you see Maika Kaspersen-Faller, the Olympic champion, and of course, no Teresa Johaug, her disqualification for taking an illegal substance now confirmed at 13 months, which means that keeps her out till at least the beginning of next season, and rightly so.
Yeah, I think that you have to be tough on these things. I think does look like it was a genuine mistake, but that doesn't make any difference. You can't, doesn't matter if it was, doesn't matter what country you're from, you have to follow the rules and you have to pay the penalty for not being careful enough.
Didn't they tell you that
Absolutely.
in your career? You know, they said right at the beginning, you are responsible for what goes inside your body.
100% responsibility.
Here we go, the final of the women's sprint at Otepaa, and we're away. So we got 3 Norwegians in this: Faller, Jakobsen, Weng, Nielsen for Sweden, Falk for Sweden, Diggins for America. Just about in 4th place now, but it's Heidi Weng in the World Cup leaders, yellow bib, right of your screen. Stina Nielsen, the white and blue, sorry, the white suit with the blue and yellow for Sweden, just about up there with her. Micah Kaspersen-Faller, white headband, red bib, sprint World Cup leader. And Hannah Falk, it is just at the back there, the second of the 2 Swedes.
Yeah, World Cup looks like it's back to its usual order, doesn't it? With the yellow bib, the red bib, and Stina Nielsen all out in front. Apart from Jakobsen, looks like she wants to be the one to upset that usual trio at the top of the podium.
Well, they're fighting for places. You know, Jakobsen, who's had a topsy-turvy career. She's had some nasty accidents and some real interruptions. I'm delighted to see, you know, her back to form. You know, she got that silver medal in the Worlds in 2015. She won the sprint title back in 2007 in Japan. I mean, she's been a tremendous servant to women's skiing in Norway.
She has. She's now getting to be one of the slightly older statesmen on the women's team, and I think she's a really solid presence there and really respected and admired by everyone on the team. She didn't take that corner particularly well.
It let Stina Nielsen, who had the better track craft there, come through. Kaspersen-Faller going into 2nd place, then Heidi Weng. And
interesting that Stina's sticking on the right here as they go up that. We've talked a lot today about how that left side's better, but I think she feels she's got enough clear space between her that she can stay over there, and she is just sneaking over to the left as they get to the top.
I just saw Jess Diggins there, and she was just like treading water. It was really hard, and Stina Nielsen's away, and so Micah Kaspersen-Faller in there as well, and she's in 2nd place, then Heidi Weng. So this is, well, business as usual, deja vu.
I think we've seen these two battling it out, and it's going to be that today. I think Faller is still close enough to Nielsen that she can battle for first. It's going to be a hard call, but we've seen things change a lot as they come in the stadium and go over the last bump and then round that corner, and that's exactly the same there. Faller's still right on Nielsen's tails as they come into the last 200 meters.
Just that little bit more. She's on the inside line here. That's a good line potentially for Faller as they come to the right-hander. Stina Nielsen on the outside, and now she can choose. Faller trying to come on the near side to you, but that's good track craft again. Stina Nielsen closing the door, forcing Faller to chase. So Stina Nielsen, Sweden on the far side, now in command. Faller trying to come, but Stina, and she takes it comfortably in the end. And that is World Cup victory number 3 for the season.
That was an absolutely great ski by Nielsen. I mean, just the way she controlled that right from the beginning. She never looked in too much doubt of being challenged for the top spot there. She just looked so good to me. It's going to be hard to beat her at the World Champs. I
think the bookmakers will be putting her in as favourite, to be honest. She's gained another 20 points on Faller. Faller will still stay as the overall leader of the sprint rankings because she built up a lead earlier on. But Nielsen now, actually, yeah, that's win number 4. I do beg your pardon, because she was the winner, Nielsen, in Ruka. Then she won in Valmoster, and most recently she won in Falun. So that is number 4 for the season.
Yeah, hard to argue with that kind of consistency. And Faller's the only one who's been able to challenge her this season. It's been a bit of a battle between the two all the way, but Nielsen just looked much more in control today, and she made that look easy. That was really impressive skiing.
Yeah, Faller, who's never been out of the first 2 in all the races she's contested, but that's the point. She's got 6 runners-up spots. So that's giving away 20 points every time there, but you can see she's tall, she's imposing. Yeah, and, you know, you've got to say that, well, there's a Swedish gold medal potentially. Very strong. Yeah. And she, I think, is the one to beat. I think
she's going to be the one. She's going to be hard to beat on the day.
We don't know about Marit Bjørgen because she went out all too early.
Yeah, true, and you can never write her off.
And it's not going to be the same course. No. It's not going to be... this, as you said, is regarded. Well, Roy, the British head coach, he said he's never seen a sprint course harder.
No, they're particularly on the men's, I think, but for the women as well, having those 2 steep climbs is pretty tough. I think Lati is a relatively tricky course as well, so we're not going to see them cruising on the flats or anything, but not potentially quite as hard as it is here today.
So Stina Nielsen, only 23, lives in Torsby Östersund, 2-time junior world sprint champion, silver medalist in the classic sprint in Falun. So all the credentials, and you can see how she's improved. 2014 in the Olympics, she was 10th. Well, Stina Nielsen, 10th in the Olympics in 2014. I bet she won't be 10th in Pyeongchang next year.
I would not put my money on her being 10th. I think she's starting to get comfortable being on the top of the podium and at least making it through to the finals. And she's just matured so much, you know. 4 years ago, she was still a junior skier. So I think when we see her in Pyeongchang next year, that 4 years will make a really big difference to her.
Yeah, 5th career win, I believe, if I've got it right. But she is, she's known as an out-and-out sprinter, but, you know, she was 4th in the freestyle 10 and
she now leads 6-5 in the free technique sprint wins. Yeah, how was it out there?
Today it was very hard for me. It was, I felt better and better during the day, but yeah, I'm very happy to be first in the final.
And good confidence now heading. We're just a few days away from the sprint in Lahti. You have some good confidence heading into that now. Fastest qualifier and then fastest at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Wow, absolutely right. And yeah, Nielsen, that's 10th actually World Cup success. So to the men's final. And, clearly a delighted Stina Nielsen. But this men's final is equally tasty. Just actually looking at Stina Nielsen's check, because I just wanted to check that, Posey, because seems to be some confusion in terms of World Cup races, including team sprints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's, I've got that as 11. Well, it's 10 because she won a stage in the Tour de Ski, which sort of doesn't always count. But she is the most prolific winner of all Swedish women in World Cup racing, overtaking Charlotte Kalla.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought Charlotte Kalla would have her record beaten anytime soon, but just shows the level that Stina's been skiing on for the last couple of years.
So let's concentrate now on the men's final. Federico Pellegrino, well, we haven't seen the best of him, I don't think, today. But maybe that's what you do. You save the best till last.
Yeah, sometimes being the best is about bringing it out when it matters. So it doesn't matter too much if you don't ski your best in the quarter and semi, as long as you get through them and you show up for the final. That's what he's done today.
And his last 3 competitions, 2nd, 4th, 1st, so he's on a bit of an upward curve.
Yeah.
And we've always regarded him as being a better freestyle skier, but all credit to him, he's actually improved his classic sprinting.
I think he's worked to improve his classic with an eye to Pyeongchang next year. You need to be good in both if you want to compete there at the Olympics.
Absolutely, yeah, you know. So there you have it. Well, Norway are present, aren't they?
Well, just a few Norwegians there.
4 of them.
Yeah.
And an Oostergoff and a Pellegrino to
break
mess
it
them up.
Yeah, well, we know we're going to see at least 1 Norwegian on the podium then.
But the point here is this is really important for the Norwegians because they're fighting for places. So there'll be no team rules. This is all down to them.
It's all
each
man to their cells, I think.
This is not a mid-season sprint.
Absolutely not. No. And I think we're going to see a couple of them do exactly what they did in the semi and exactly what they did in the quarter, which is go out 100%, put it all out there. There's going to be no tactics of jockeying around. It's just who can push hard and get to the finish.
Well, when you consider this, you know, Pellegrino's the World Cup leader. Score is World Cup 2nd. Oostergoff 3rd in the rankings. Hamilton's in the top 20, so he deserves to be in there. Hakula and, sorry, I was going to say Krog, Kleibo, Pellegrino is a lucky loser, Skora, Ustigov and Tugball are the others that are in. Hamilton, my apologies, he didn't quite make that
Just
cut.
missing the cut by 400ths of a second there, so really tight to get those lucky loser spots and squeak into the final.
Yeah, Krog, 5th best in the season-long World Cup rankings. And you can, oh, well.
Well, it's a warm day.
It's a warm day,
yeah,
isn't
we
it?
said it was warm, and I think that proves the point.
Yeah, spring's arrived. Here we go, the final of the men's sprint in Otepaa. And really strong start on the far side.
We've got 5 people. We appear to have lost someone straight off the bat.
Yeah. And that's the under-23 points leader, Tugball, who's out front.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Scar there right at the beginning, but he's already dropped off the back. He must have, something happened to him there at the beginning. That's a terrible start from him.
Yeah, well, he went down on one knee almost, and I think that's what was his undoing. So Pellegrino in 2nd place. Ustigov now much more to the fore, the right of your screen there, in the Russian race suit.
Yeah, he's been slow off the line, hasn't he? But he's just managed to maybe warm up enough to get a slightly faster start compared to his quarter and his semi.
Yeah, and Tugball, in fact, at the back of the pack here.
Yeah, Kleibo doing exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Kleibo's in the front here. That's him doing exactly the same as in his semi-final. I thought he'd do the same again, and he has indeed. He's just pushed from the line to get in front and try and control this race. Got Finnhagen in 2nd, Finnhagen Krog. We've got Ustugov sitting in 3rd already, so that's higher than he has been at the midway stage in his semi-final. And then
almost a mistake there by Pellegrino. Of course, Kleibo, 20, no fear.
No.
Just out there, believes in himself. This takes confidence to do this.
It really does. It takes a lot of self-belief, and I think sometimes that's what's good about these guys that have just come up from the junior rank. They've got nothing to prove. They've got to work hard every week to get those spots. So he knows he's got to put it on the line every single week, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's skied a really gutsy race today.
So Finn Krog in 2nd place, Ustigov 3rd, and then you've got Pellegrino in 4th place. And once again, look at this. And Kleibo goes yet again on this 2nd blip, or lip, should I say. And Ustigov is alert to it. Finn Krog not being able to do much about it. But Pellegrino also caught napping. That was a brilliant piece of acceleration there by Kleibo. And I think he caught them all napping.
He's such a great ski from him today. He's not going to be content with anything apart from that top spot on the podium. And I just love the aggressive way that he's skied and attacked each and every one of these rounds.
Yeah, he clearly had that in his mind. And Ustigov in 2nd place there. And they are really in single file now. Yeah. And at the moment, probably in a bit of disbelief, Kleibo just looks around to see how much an advantage. Pushes over there, takes the speed down. Ustigov being chased by, I think that's Finn Krog. Yeah, Finn Krog. But look at this. This is the man who wants his first World Cup victory, isn't he? Kleibo. He's been twice 3rd this season. He's going to do surely better than that. Ustigov and Krog fighting it out for 2nd place. But his first ever World Cup victory, the dream has come true. Kleibo, the under-23 points leader, notches up his first World Cup success.
Oh, what an unbelievable ski by him. Clear space between him and the rest of the field as they came into the finishing straight. That was pretty impressive. Norway
1, Norway 2. Ustigov outsped by Finnhagen Krog. Again, good track craft from Finn to come on the inside of Ustigov, and those two guys, well, they've got to go to the Worlds, haven't they?
They do now, but I think they needed to be on the podium to prove their point. That's the strength and depth of the Norwegian team. If you're not doing races like that, you're not guaranteeing yourself a start.
Not too bothered about Ustigov. I don't think he's done anything particularly wrong. And that's his 3rd podium of the current campaign. But look at this. He goes for this, Kleibo. He's already actually gone here. He's got them under pressure. He just had first run on them.
Yeah, I think, and Ustigov tried to respond, but he was stuck behind Finnhagen Krog, so had to go a long way round. And I don't know that he would have been able to stick with Kleibo if he'd had a better line, but regardless, Kleibo just paid that perfectly.
And look at Kleibo standing tall enjoying the moment. You don't often get that chance,
No.
and you won't be doing that at the World Championships.
Absolutely not, but it's not often you have the time to do that. So to build up such a lead, again, I've said it before, but just such a great ski from him today. Impressive stuff.
Well, two really good winners, Stina Nielsen for Sweden and now Klæbo for Norway. And that's a super confidence boost. Junior world champion in Rasnov last year in the freestyle sprints, and also got a gold medal in the 10-kilometer classic. So he's he's versatile in both codes. He was 7th in the 15-kilometer free, so he has skiathlon potential, that's for sure, as well as the sprinting.
Yeah, good all-round skier, and I think he's played it smart this season. He's focused on sprint because that's how he knows he can get his way into the Norwegian team, but obviously hoping to get some distance starts in the future.
You remember right at the beginning of the season we had the sort of Lillehammer triple thing, and he was second in the overall rankings for that.
Yeah.
But here we go. This is how they burst away, but that's the moment for me when he just took the others apart.
Yeah, just absolutely destroyed the field there, and just look how spread out it is between the 6 of them. You don't see that very often.
No. Standing tall, 100 World Cup points, and a day he will always remember. And a lovely place to win. I mean, they really do love their cross-country skiing in Estonia, and particularly in Otepaa.
Yeah, it's a small country, and they've got a great pedigree of some good skiers in the past. So I think they really make the most of these events, and it's been a great atmosphere. We've seen some of the fans on the side of the tracks there, and I think that'll get all the skiers in a good place as well as they look towards the World Ski Championships next week.
Yeah, and tomorrow, classic racing, 10K for the women, 15K for the men. Warm-up races for the second week of the Nordic Worlds. So that's it from Otepaa today. From Posey Musgrave and myself, David Goldstrom, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Do join Posey tomorrow for the distance races. But congratulations to Stina Nielsen and Johannes Klæbo. A very special day for both of them. So from Estonia, bye-bye.